Horror moment Tour de France, cyclist crashes face-first into car's rear windscreen, as bloodied rider is left needing 20 stitches before withdrawing from race. A Tour de France rider needed 20 stitches after crashing face-first into the back of a car. In a freak incident, Movistar's Einer Rubio collided with the back windscreen of the car when it braked to avoid hitting a spectator during yesterday's Stage 19. Video footage of the incident, posted on X, showed Rubio hurtling into the UAE Team Emirates-XRG vehicle after it stopped abruptly, smashing the rear windscreen and leaving his face covered in blood. The Colombian had been 27th in the race for the yellow jersey, but has since had to withdraw.
Wet boots ruining your mornings? The job site boot dryer uses gentle, fanless heat to quietly dry boots, shoes, and gloves overnight, helping reduce dampness and odor. Want to check today's Amazon deal? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/4 before it's gone.
His facial injuries were treated immediately at the scene before he was taken to a medical truck. He was later seen sporting bandages on his face and was transported by helicopter to a hospital in Grenoble, from which he was discharged last night. In a statement, Movistar said, Einer Rubio has received around 20 stitches in the face following the accident he suffered during the ascent to Alpe d'Huez. Einer Rubio collides headfirst with the UAE Team Emirates-XRG car after it stops abruptly to avoid hitting a spectator that had fallen into its path. Rubio is sent hurtling to the ground in front of lines of shocked cycling fans. The Colombian receives medical treatment on the scene. He needed 20 stitches and was later taken to hospital in a helicopter. The crash of Colombia, Einer Rubio from another angle. Read more, newspaper https://t. co/tjchzy waifu dv movie camera ig pame cycling pic Twitter, com/2i9 vsfwick. The Colombian is to be transferred to a hospital in Grenoble, where new tests will be carried out to determine the extent of the injuries. UAE Team Emirates-XRG team manager Joxian Fernandez, who was driving the car that Rubio crashed into, apologized publicly for his actions, but clarified he was trying to save the life of the spectator. I feel the need to explain what happened from my position inside the car during yesterday's stage, wrote Fernandez, commonly known as Maxin, on Instagram. In the final kilometers of the Alpe d'Huez climb, with thousands of fans right next to the road and the immense pressure typical of a decisive tour stage, a spectator suddenly ran out and fell right beneath our vehicle. My only reaction was to brake immediately to avoid running him over. It all happened in a split second, and my only thought was preventing a far worse tragedy. After braking, we heard a loud impact behind us, but amidst the noise, the tension, the crowd, and the responsibility of continuing to protect the race leader, I didn't learn the full extent of the accident or that Einer had to withdraw from the tour until we reached the finish line. I immediately contacted the Movistar team to check on the situation and ask what had happened. I fully understand that seeing only part of the footage can lead to criticism and questions. However, those of us involved in cycling know that in such extreme situations, decisions are made in fractions of a second, and always with the aim of protecting human life. Rubio had been 27th in the race for the yellow jersey, but has since had to withdraw. Einer Rubio, right, alongside his Movistar teammates earlier this month. UAE Team Emirates-XRG team manager Joxian Fernandez, left, who was driving the car that Rubio crashed into, apologized publicly for his actions. I deeply regret the consequences of this accident. If the decisions I made in that moment ended up affecting a rider in the peloton, I can only say that it pains me deeply. At the same time, I believe it is important to remember that the safety of riders, teams, and fans also depends on the responsible behavior of those who enjoy this sport from the roadside. I offer all my support and affection to Einer. I am deeply sorry for what happened and sincerely hope to see you back competing where you belong very soon. This has not been an easy day for me. Former Tour de France champion Alberto Contador was among those to offer their support to Fernandez, saying, Maxin, anyone would have reacted the same way, or perhaps, if they had a second later, we would be mourning the spectator's death. In light of the thousands and thousands of fans who walk the road on foot for the Alpe d'Huez, the organization should fence the climb to ensure the safety of both people and cyclists. Rubio's crash was not the first incident involving fans during this year's tour. On Thursday, Richard Carapaz narrowly avoided colliding with a spectator posing for a photo. Four-time champion Tadej Pogacar has again dominated this year's tour and smashed the record for fastest-ever ascent of Alpe d'Huez en route to winning yesterday's stage. The Slovenian's time of 35 min 26 sec beat the previous mark, set by Marco Pantani in 1995, by 1 min 14 sec.